Hello, welcome to Real Frank Movie Reviews. In this episode, we're going to review the movie The Exorcist.
Believer.
Starring Leslie Odom Jr., Lidya Jewett, and OG Ellen Burstyn. Here we are again, another rehash of a classic movie. I'm sure they came up with some good ideas to make this entertaining to keep this franchise alive, right? Good old Hollywood. The only thing we can count on them for sure is to take a classic movie, turn it into a franchise, and destroy it and beat it into a drum. Let's take a look at this movie next.
Real Frank.
Yes, Hollywood's at it again. Let's reboot an old franchise or rehash an old idea. The Exorcist. This version of The Exorcist, or this continuation of the story of The Exorcist Believer, is when two girls disappear into the woods and return 3 days later with no memory of what happened to them and show signs of demonic possession, and unleashes a chain of events that forces single father Victor Fielding to confront the nadir of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris MacNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before. Dun dun dun! This movie felt like two separate movies. The first half of the movie was more scary for me than the second half of the movie that was supposed to be scary. All the things leading up to the middle part of the movie that's supposed to be the scary part, the build-up of the characters, the past, was very intriguing and very suspenseful, so you just kept waiting for something to happen. The girls go to school, they say they're staying at each other's house, and then they go into the woods, and then they end up missing. No one has seen them for over 3 days. It's very suspenseful. You don't know what happened, what's going to happen, and what's going on. 3 days later, they find them, and that's where the movie gets a little cray-cray. They're immediately taken to the hospital to get checked out. Look at those nasty cuts on her feet. Does she know she's not supposed to shave her feet? Oh, Dad, I gotta go pee. A dead horse. So after they get checked out and everything, checks out right, like they weren't abused sexually or anything like that, they're sent home to return to their normal lives. And that's when all hell breaks loose. And this is where this movie falls apart. It was ridiculous. The first part, I'm all in and I'm like intrigued and the suspense and everything. And then the second half, when they come back, the girls, and they're all possessed, is wacky. Uh-oh, someone got into the Jesus juice. She looks mad. And as they always do, they try to do anyway, when they rehash an old movie, they try to bring back at least one of the original characters. And here they did with the character Chris MacNeil. Remember her? Everything I read about Ellen Burstyn returning, she initially did not want to return, but she confesses that the amount of money they offered her for this movie, it was hard to pass up. So it looks like this was a money grab, and she ended up taking the money and giving it to her charity of her choice. But still, even she didn't want to really do this movie until they backed up that Brinks truck. Who could blame her? When the girls are possessed, they just looked weird and comical, like a marionette type of face. It was hard to be terrified of it. It was more funny than anything. And I got a sense from the audience, too, that they didn't really care for this movie either. You didn't hear anyone really scared or anything. And the movie theater wasn't exactly all the way full. When you look at these faces, they don't look scary. They look weird. I never thought once they were possessed. I just thought they looked a little quirky and funny. Overall, I give this movie a 2.9. It's not very good. The only reason I gave it a 2.9 is the beginning part, or the first half of the movie. The suspense was really good. And kind of the message at the very end of the movie. I did enjoy that message, and I thought it was a noteworthy message. But whether you should go see this in a movie theater? Hell no! Wait for it to come out on one of the streaming service. Overall, I give this movie a 2.9. Until next time, thanks for watching.
I think that I lost my mind. Hours now is spent time grinding on the things I write, fighting through the sleepy nights. And still, man, I'm getting screwed. Haven't I paid my fucking dues? Algorithms pick and choose. We're all slaves to what they do. Wait, no, it's a gift. I can go from poor to rich if you figure out the switch to get to the top of it. I don't know, I don't care. I'm pulling out my fucking hair. I just want to create.